Talking to Spirits, Laughing with Ghosts. I'm here to do another pick a card reading. Today it is going to be about your past lives, okay? What's happened in your past lives, what you experienced in your past life, maybe how it's affecting you now, in the present. So that is what we're going to do today. I'm pretty excited for it. I've been wanting to do this video for a little while now, so I'm excited to see what comes out for you guys, all right? So, as always, use your intuition to pick the pile that you're drawn to, okay? This is going to be pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. If you need to pause this video to meditate on it, please do. And without further ado, we will get started. So we're going to start with pile 1, all right? All right, for those of you that picked pile 1, we are going to get started. Okay, we have the Spouse, Persecution and Inquisition. We have the Guinea Pig, the Owl. Let's see if I can move these up so you can see them all. Our Dragon card is Fire and Water. You have the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Sun card, and Calling in Your Soulmate. Okay, so first off, what I love about this I'm super drawn to is the fact that you have Calling in Your Soulmate, but you also have the Spouse card, right? So you had a soulmate in your past life, right? So for right now, your spouse that you, like if you have a spouse right now, that could be that someone that you had also shared a romantic relationship with, okay, in your past life. However, if you are single, then your future spouse is likely going to be from your past life as well, okay? So this also refers to as your soulmate, which I love that because you have the spouse and you also have the Calling in Your Soulmate, right? So you have two soulmate cards here basically, okay? So in your past life, you did have your soulmate and that's going to carry over to your present life, right? Now, with Persecution and Inquisition, this card means that in your past life, you probably dealt with what they considered back then witchcraft, right? So, back then they considered it to be evil and things like that, but you actually were a healer, okay? So, you healed people maybe through herbs, maybe through crystals, candle magic, things like that, right? So if you feel like, you're into that, like you're into holistic remedies or you're into, like Reiki, or even candle magic now, it's because it's carrying over from your past life. So you've already done it, and I feel like it's probably, comes easy to you. Like you can naturally remember like what each crystal is, what each crystal's property is, things of that nature, okay? You were accused of, casting spells, okay? And I feel like maybe in today's life, right? Today, right now in the present, maybe you guys are like afraid to open up about it, but you are very psychic and you are also a healer, right? So that's kind of like your calling. Like you are naturally drawn to helping people. Maybe you work in a field, like, a medical field. Maybe you're a therapist. Maybe you're, into the, like being a holistic doctor, things like that, right? So you're naturally probably drawn to that, and you have a very strong sense of just helping people in general, like with their health or things like that, right? So you also have the Guinea Pig, and then this is do your part to illuminate the universe. So in your past life, which it goes hand in hand with you being a healer and what they considered back then as witchcraft, right? So you were basically trying to help as many people as you could, and I feel like, maybe, obviously it came out that that's what you were, okay? So, and you were very frowned upon because that wasn't standard in society back then, if you will, right? But you were generally doing the work with the universe, and with the Owl card, you also have, this message is actually, listen to the messages of your angels. So you were actually working with the angels, and you were working with the universe to try to better people, try to, make the best, make them feel their best, if you will, right? Like you wanted to bring out that light, you wanted to bring out that love, you wanted to just help people with their issues that they had. So you are a very helping, loving person, but you were just misunderstood because it wasn't standard in society back then, right? So you also have the fire and water dragon. So you could be a fire sign, you could be a water sign. And also with this dragon card, it says, enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected, but have fun. So for you, it was like, regardless, like you knew what the outcome was going to be if you got caught doing this, but you didn't care because you were doing the work of the universe and of the angels. You were being divinely guided in this. So you didn't care, and you were still going to do what you had to do, but you were also preparing yourself for change, right? So in the event that you got caught or something to that effect, right? So you also have the Four of Cups as well, right? So in a sense, you felt alone in all of this because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't normal. So you felt very alone. You know, you might have even got depressed, which could carry over now. Like maybe you don't feel like you belong or whatever, like you're different, okay? But with that being said, you still had your spouse by your side. Your spouse encouraged you. Your spouse was there with you by your side and believed in you and knew what you can do and knew that it wasn't bad, okay? So you had the support, but yet you still felt like you were alone just because you had this awesome, awesome gift, all right? You also have the Page of Wands, okay? So you gained courage, and I feel like that comes from your spouse helping you. Like you had this courage. Like you didn't care if you were caught. You didn't care really, I guess, what the consequences would be because this was your mission. You wanted to help people, and that's what you were going to do. But you had a lot of people that, you know, stayed away from you. Maybe they thought, you know, well, obviously they thought a certain type of way of you or whatever. But so you kind of became like this rebellious person. You were like this rebel at heart. Like you didn't give a crap what people said, what people thought. But you were almost like a hermit and you just confided in your spouse. That's really what I'm seeing for this, and that's how I feel about it. But you were still going to do you no matter what. You didn't give a crap what anybody said about you, stuff like that. But you did feel alone at certain aspects because you didn't understand why people had this perception when all you were trying to do is do light work, okay? Now, you also have the Sun, and I love this because the Sun is basically like, you were this person that was so like fulfilled with, you know, the light. You were so fulfilled, you were so intrigued with the sun because of how bright it was, even though you were having a bad day or whatever it may be. You were so fulfilled, you were so fueled by this light that it actually gave you a lot of success. And I think that that is possibly what caused you to you know, people to find out, and it was more or less like the government, if you will, to find out what you were, because people would come to you because they heard about you, you know, through word of mouth, and they would come to you and you just soaked it all in because you loved dealing with them. You loved fixing people. You loved making them be the best version of themselves that they could possibly be. So with that being said, I think that that is what made you, if you will, get caught, right? And somebody snitch or something like that. So group one for you guys, this reading is incredible. Excuse me. This reading is, it actually is kind of, well, it is. It's one of my past lives as well. I just think this is awesome. So if you guys picked group one and you guys are naturally drawn to like holistic ways, you know, like eating healthy, or you know that you can eat this and it has this nutrient in it, or you know, you're into the supplements, the vitamins, you're into, you know, making like your own little potions, if you will, like working with essential oils, working with crystals, things of that nature. That's because you have already done this in your past life and it is carried over to you, okay? So group one, fantastic reading. I love this. Let me know down below if it resonates with you. And we're going to move on to group two. Okay, if you picked group number two, this one is for you. So let's get started and see what you guys have going on. All right, we've got the Mother card. We've got biblical, interesting. We have the dog, interesting, loyal, goat, the Seven of Cups, the Empress, Three of Wands, Royal Blue, and a Gold Dragon. Strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Ooh. So you know what's up. You also have passion. Okay. So first of all, of course, the thing that comes to me is the dogs. For whatever reason, I am drawn to that right now. And this is be disciplined in your home and community life, okay? Dogs to me are the most loyal companions that you can have, right? They will, no matter what kind of mood you're in or whatever it may be, they will stick by your side. I love that. I love it. I love it. So with the Mother card coming into play, this is very interesting, okay? So with the Mother card being here, this is basically saying that your mother in this life right now was with you in your past life, okay? So basically meaning if you have a good relationship with your mother right now, like if you guys are tight and you guys are close, then that's how it was in your past life. If you don't have such a good relationship with your mom, then you're basically here in this lifetime to forgive her and try to reconcile and fix the situation, okay? That's what the Mother card is about. The Mother card is also a lot of your feminine energy, right? So this is saying that you are very, very good at manifesting. That is probably one of your strongest abilities, is to manifest, right? You can manifest shit into your life and you could say, I want this to happen, and it's gonna happen, right? But you have to be kind of practical with it, you know? Like some people think that it's just gonna happen overnight, and you know, that's not how it works, right? So, you know, you have to be practical with the manifesting, but your biggest ability is to be able to manifest. So if you're not familiar with manifesting and setting intentions and all of that, then you should probably like Google it, research it, right? Because that is one of your strongest abilities. Now with the biblical card, this is interesting to me because in your past life, you were probably either a follower of Jesus or Moses, or you lived in the Holy Land. Like you lived through this time period. You were there, okay? But the thing is all these stories, you know, that go around like what happened or how it happened or whatever, these, that humans, you know, came up with, right? Now the things that you hear, it's like you already know what really happened. So for you, you have like your own understanding of, you know, being spiritual, right? Like you have your own understanding of this. So you actually follow your own path spiritually. Like you have your own set beliefs because you already know what happened. You were there during this time, which is really interesting and it's very cool. So you already know, right? So you know. So you may feel like, you know, don't come for me, people. Don't come for me. But you may feel like, you know, church isn't really for me. I feel like there's more to it. I'm not, you know, like what they're saying. It's just like, not necessarily, well, yeah, it may bore you. I mean, that's what's coming to me. It bores you. And you're just like, no, there has to be more. There has to be more. And that's because you've already lived it, so you already know what's happened, okay? Now, with the dog coming in, which we've already talked about, be disciplined in your home and community life, okay? With the dog thing, you know, this has to do with your mother, right? Like, you guys should be tight-knit. You guys have, I think, so much in common, and that's probably why you butt heads if you are having issues. But if you guys were super tight-knit in your past life and that's how you guys are now, that's because you guys have this dog companion, right? Like you guys are loyal through and through. That is family. So if you are having issues, you're here on this life currently to rekindle that and try to work through that, right? And it's about you forgiving for whatever has happened. It's about you forgiving that situation, okay? Now, with the goat coming in, this is act from your inner wisdom, okay? So this is, you know right from wrong. You know, it's weird. Like, I keep getting the sense, like, you already know. Like, you know, but for whatever reason, it's like, maybe you were, you know, a rebel in your past life, kind of like, should I do that? Should I not? Should I do that? Should I not? But you always acted on what your gut feeling was, if that makes sense. So you guys could manifest, you guys could feel things, you guys would kind of already know, you'd have that gut feeling of what to do, how to do, and things like that, okay? Now you have the Seven of Cups, which is reversed. So the Seven of Cups is, it's more or less like unrealistic views, okay? And this, in your past life, is really what blocked you from manifesting your highest potential, okay? So the Seven of Cups came in and you wanted, you know, whatever it wasn't realistic expectations. It wasn't realistic views. So your manifesting abilities were blocked because of that. So I think now in your current life, you really need to work on, and that's why it says with the mother figure, these two kind of go hand in hand. So you really need to work on manifesting, but manifesting, it's not even that it's the wrong way because you already know how to manifest, but it's like you need to be more realistic about things. You know what I mean? So so you're brought here on this life to really get your manifesting under control, really dig deep into those powers to be able to manifest, okay? Because it's gonna be really awesome for you. So work on your manifesting. Now you also have the Empress, okay? Now this is divine love, okay? So this is in your past life, you really needed to work on yourself and loving yourself. For whatever reason, you were held back from a lot of things. So I don't know if maybe, you know, your mother had put you down or thought a certain type of way about you because you were different or whatever it may be. But for whatever reason, you were really brought down to, you didn't love yourself. And that's another reason why your manifesting powers, they were blocked, you know, because you had yourself so down in the dumps about things. It's really kind of sad, you know, it's really sad. So maybe you had a dog in your past life and that's kind of who you confided in, like you guys were best friends, because I keep coming back to this dog for whatever reason. So if you have a dog now, I keep hearing this. If you have a dog now, then, or even an animal for that sense, but they are like your ride or die, your best friend. Nobody is going to come between you guys. It's because you already had this in your past life. So you have like a real passion for animals. I just keep seeing this. It keeps coming up. I don't know why, but it is something with the animals. You have this deep connection with them, okay? You have the Three of Wands also as well. Now, the Three of Wands is you could actually look into the future. You had this psychic ability to look into the future and you would know exactly the tools that you needed to get to where you were going, right? So not only could you manifest, you also had this ability to see the future. So you knew what to manifest, right? But for whatever reason, you were blocked on this. So in today's time, you can already do that, right? Because you had it in your past life. So you can see into the future and be like, you know what? I see myself, you know, doing this or doing that, right? And it's like, you already know what you need to do to get there. And you manifest that and you work towards that. And then it's just like, boom, it happens for you every single time. It's incredible. You have this passion about you, okay? Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. You have this fire, you have this passion in you that when you put your mind to it, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen. And that is how it was for you in your past life, which carries over into this life. Okay? Now, with the royal blue and gold dragon, this strengthens you to stand in your power within wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. So you had all these abilities to make shit happen, to manifest what you wanted, how you wanted your life to be. But for whatever reason, you were blocked in this, and it's now carried over. So for you, if you feel like you're down in the dumps, if you feel like, you know, you're just not good enough or you're being put down or things like that, you really have to work through that to have the ability to manifest what it is that you want. Because for you, if you're thinking a certain type of way, then you're going to accidentally manifest that, right? So if you're thinking bad things, then you're manifesting that and you don't even realize it, right? So for group 2, it is very important that you guys work on your manifesting, work on that positivity, okay? I love this for you guys. I think it's very intriguing. This read is very interesting. So you guys have a lot of knowledge, you guys have a lot of wisdom, but you guys are, you know, carrying over a few things, okay? Good and bad. So your past life, it was tough, and I feel like you were blocked, right? But you've carried it over now to your current life, and that is what you have been called here to do. All right, so group 2, excellent. All right, we're gonna move on to group 3. All right, here we are on group 3. Let's get this started. Ooh, you guys got the galactic food and hunger. We've got Z Kangaroo, be a force for good. Ooh, I'm loving this already. Dove, spread messages of peace and harmony. We have the Hangman, the Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, the Omega Dragon, harness the divine feminine power of creation. Interesting. And Honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of the holiday time together. Okay. So, right off the bat, you guys are probably looking at the food and hunger like, I was starved to death, right? Am I right or am I right? Probably right, right? Now, the galactic energy is super awesome, but here's the thing. In your past life, with the galactic energy coming up in the galactic card, rather, this could have been in your past life, it was actually your first time on Earth, okay? So this could have been your first life ever being a human. All right. Now with the food and hunger, it's interesting. Well, first of all, let me go back to the galactic. Okay. So your first time on Earth. So you're more than likely very awkward. You probably were pretty shy, and you probably you weren't really in the social scene. Okay. So you weren't very sociable. Now with the galactic energy, you also could have been really connected to computers and technology, right? You probably did like a lot of like what do they call it? Like, I don't, chatting, blogging, you know, all that stuff, right? You weren't really into like marriage or having kids. You didn't really, see that for you because to you, it was weird. It was really like awkward, right? So you were the shy person and you were really into like the technology, the computers, things like that, okay? And I think with that, it's so funny because with the food and hunger, for you, obviously it was probably weird. Like you didn't feel like Earth was home. You know what I mean? Like you didn't feel like Earth was home. So you probably tried to find people that were, like you, and I think that that's what you were on the search for. Now with the food and hunger, it's interesting because you didn't have enough to eat in your past life, okay? So maybe in your life now, you could have like an eating disorder, you could hoard food, and that's because you associate eating with fear, right, instead of hunger. And I think in your past life, you didn't really... It was almost like you didn't know to eat food. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. Like, it's really weird. So I feel like you did like a lot of charity work, and you gave a lot of food away and you helped those in need, right? Like, you didn't really care too much about yourself because for you, it was weird on Earth, right? Like, Earth didn't feel like Earth, so what's eating? And with the kangaroo being a force for good, I feel like you guys did a lot of charity work. You guys helped a lot of people as far as like, food goes. So I feel like, maybe now if you are, feeling like you want to donate food, can drives or whatever they do, shelters, shit like that. I feel like that's because of your past life, right? You also have the Duff, spread messages of peace and harmony. So you are a very nice person, and I think that you were just trying to like soak it all in, like, what is this life on Earth? And you were trying to find your people, if you will, okay? So whether that be like, star child, star children, basically just other humans that were like you, but really you guys already know that you're not from Earth, right? So I think that you were trying to find them, but you would help everybody. Like, you were super nice because that's all that you knew. Like, you didn't really know like what, bad was, because you were just nice to everybody. That's what you know, is to be nice and be kind, right? So for you with the honeymoon, it's funny because every day for you, even though you went without food, every day for you was like that honeymoon phase, right? It was like that vacation, because for you, you were here to help people, you were here to feed people, you were here to work with the community and things like that. Even though you were very awkward and didn't really socialize, it's like you did it behind closed doors. Like, people didn't know that it was you doing it, if that makes sense, okay? With the hangman, this is sacrificing a lot. So again, this plays into, feeding people who are hungry, helping people out in that that situation that they were in, right? So the hangman is, you sacrificed a lot in your previous life. I mean, a lot. Like, you didn't need, you were very minimal, right? So maybe you were like a minimalist, or maybe now you're drawn to having just the necessities, and you don't need a lot of things to make you happy, right? So like, I've seen that people, like, they live in like those tiny houses, or like they live out of a van or something like that. Like, you are very minimal at what you need, okay? And I feel like that has carried over into this current life, right? Now, you have the Knight of Wands, which is so funny, because the Knight of Wands is a very impatient person. They're very restless, and they have no fear, they have no doubt, they basically have nothing to lose. And that's how you were in your past life. You literally had nothing to lose, because you knew that Earth was not your home. You were here to do what you were called to do, and that's what you were doing. So you had no fear, you didn't really give a shit about what anybody thought about you, and there was not a doubt in your mind that what you were doing was the right thing to do. It didn't matter what you had, as long as humans had what they needed that you could offer. So that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. You also have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So you knew how to prioritize like what's truly important. And that's how you were. And I think that that also brings it back to today, being a minimalist, if that's what you are, or that's what you believe in, or you're not the type of person that has a lot of things, right? You have what you need, the bare necessities, and you are perfectly content with that. Maybe you like to travel, or move from, place to place. I like to call them gypsies who do that, which I think is awesome, because you get to travel the whole world. So you guys prioritized what was truly important, and that was that other people without had. So you made sure that people who didn't have, you could give them what you had. And that didn't matter if it was the sweater off of your back, the shoes on your feet, the food that you had to eat. To you, you would do whatever you could to help somebody. So in today, this current time, you may still be like that, right? You may be a minimalist. You're probably that person that if you only have $2 to your name and somebody needed money, you would give them the last $2 and you would go without. I love this. I freaking love the galactic right here, because this is like your first time on Earth. It is just incredible. It's incredible. So in your past life, you knew who you were. You knew that you were not human, even though you were in a human body. You know what I'm saying? But you were on this mission, and that's what you did. You made it your mission. And now coming onto your next life, now you guys are continuing to do that work, right? So I think it's incredible, and for those of you that don't believe in past lives, that's okay. You don't have to judge this video. You don't have to be rude or anything like that. I do. Me personally, I'm actually on my 22nd life. So I've lived many lives. And I am also life path number 33. So, I'm just an incredible human being, and all of you guys are too. You just have to find out more about your past lives. You have to find out who you are, figure that out. So it's a lot of fun, right? So If you picked group number 3, I think this is awesome. You're definitely probably in charity work. You're trying to make a change, if you will. So it's awesome. It's awesome. So with that being said, guys, listen, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell button for notifications of any new videos that I come out with. All right? If you guys have any recommendations on what kind of videos you would like me to do, comment them below and let me know. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.